The Habs welcome themselves back into the North Division with a huge win against the Edmonton Oilers, their first back-to-back win, albeit a week apart, since February 1st and 2nd, and the first time they've won back-to-back games under Dom Ducharme. Whew, man, I forgot what that felt like. What a big win, 4-0, and guess what? Carey Price, baby, gets a shutout. Finally, he was allowed tonight, and you'll love to see that. Now, he wasn't tested a whole lot. He goes 16 for 16, and it has to be said, of course, that this was the Oilers' third game in 4 nights, and it was a back-to-back, and we faced who is their backup in Koskinen, who really is not having a good season, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for the Edmonton Oilers. We all got to face this type of stuff, and the Habs get a massive win, a big 2 points tonight. That puts them 4 points ahead of Calgary, who dropped another game last night, and we still have 5 games in hand on them. We got a big one coming up Thursday against the Ottawa Senators, who have been a thorn in our side, a thorn in a lot of people's side. It's going to be a tough game. They're developing that culture, that identity, and they are not going to be an easy team to face. Come Thursday, they'll be coming out flying, and it's going to be a tough one, but let's get into this game tonight, and what a big win. Now, as always, get at me down in the comments here. Join the discussion. Let me know if I missed anything. And of course, hit the like and subscribe button if you're enjoying these videos. The Montreal Canadiens, with the win tonight, put themselves at a 15-8-9 record. And it did not take them long after the week off. 18 seconds in, it's Kotkaniemi with a big goal. But I got a couple things to point out here, because 2 guys who did not get assists on this play played a big part in this goal, starting off way down in our defensive zone. Brett Kulak pressures the Edmonton Oilers forechecker down in the corner, and the puck squirts out to Jeff Petrie, who moves that puck up the ice quick. If it was not for Kulak and his pressure down in the corner there, we would not have had the breakout at all in the first place. Then we see Lehkonen to KK, and KK with that very nice entry on the blue line. It was a tight one. Then the back and forth play between KK and Byron to finish it off, but huge on Lehkonen to stay onside on that play, and the Edmonton Oilers fail on the offside challenge. Then only 3 minutes later, it's Lehkonen and Byron on the board again. Edmondson gets the shot on net, leads to a scramble, and between the two of them, Byron and Lech, they finish it off. And those two took a ton of heat and a bit of disrespect on Habs Twitter today when the lineups got announced and they saw KK with Lech and Byron. People wanted Perry up there, but the coach knows what he's doing, and he starts with that line, and they go out and they get the job done. So you love to see that. 2 guys that have been mentioned in trade talks here and there. So I love seeing guys that have been with the team for so long just prove their worth out there. Now, that said, I do understand why fans would want to see Perry up with KK, because Corey is just such an offensive-minded player, and it comes from his hockey IQ, his smarts, his poise with the puck. The biggest thing I notice is he knows the precise moments when he can slow the play down and let those passing lanes come to him, or to provide himself some extra space to use his hands in wide stance and move the puck around. So I do get that, and we'll have to see how it plays out, but imagine the smarts of Eric Staal and Corey Perry playing together. Maybe the coaching staff is setting that up and trying to keep the consistency going between KK, Lehkonen, and a guy like Byron. Then, at the end of the period, we see a strong face-off win in the offensive zone from Phillip Danault. Gets it to Weber, who just wastes no time getting the puck on net there. Rings it off the crossbar. The puck ends up in the crease. Left, Galley's not going to waste that opportunity. He dives on it and finishes it off in typical Brendan Gallagher style. It's 3-0 at that point in the first period. Could not ask for a better return to play for the Montreal Canadiens. What a great first period. And it included a fight from Josh Anderson. A fight he won with one shot towards the end there. And you know, no disrespect, but I still think there are a lot of Habs fans who don't quite realize the type of player Josh Anderson is. He's not specifically out there to be an offensive-minded player. He is a true old-school power forward. And when I say old school, I mean old school. He is going to fight at any given point in the game, regardless of the game situation. And that's part of the Montreal Canadiens' identity right now. And that's the type of identity that you win with. You take no shit, you play for your teammates, and you don't give up. And I love seeing that out there. It's not about helping the other team get back into the game and give them a momentum swing at all. He had just taken a high stick. The guy who high sticked him then challenges him to a fight. You really think Josh Anderson's going to walk away from that? No, that's not going to happen. And he made the guy pay for it. And then before the first period ended, we saw Connor McDavid, the best player, the most skilled player in the NHL, take an absolute cheap shot at Jesperi Kotkaniemi out of frustration. It was an interference and a blatant elbow to the head. Now imagine if the roles were reversed there and it was KK who elbowed Connor McDavid. The entire hockey community would have their pitchforks out looking for a 2-game suspension at least for Jesperi Kotkaniemi. So I'm interested to see what the DOPS of the NHL does here. You know what? I would not be surprised to see them ignore it. The Montreal Canadiens won. Connor McDavid, the star of the league. At minimum, though, he deserves a maximum fine in my eyes. And if he doesn't at least get that, that is just pure bullshit, straight up. And really, he should be suspended. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. It was interference and it was a blatant elbow to the head of Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Again, no injury on the play, and that's typically what the NHL seems to use as grounds to make suspensions, which is bullshit. If it's against the rules and it's a dirty play, you suspend regardless of injury. That's how you prevent injuries in the future. Seems like common sense to me. We go into the second period, and the Canadiens continue doing a strong job of defending McDavid and Draisaitl and the limited offense that the Edmonton Oilers have, relying on just a few players. And I'd love to give credit, and it is deserved, for guys like Shea Weber, Jeff Petrie, Joel Edmondson, Brett Kulak, the decor of the Habs. But I think as well, it's the Montreal Canadiens forwards with the back pressure, with the back checking, with noticing that once McDavid, he's all speed, but once he breaks the blue line, he loves to glide with that puck and keep his head up. So if you can keep your feet moving, come from behind him and disrupt his stick, you're really going to limit what he can do out there and break up his plays when he's not expecting it. So kudos to the Habs decor, but also kudos to the Habs two-way forwards doing a fantastic job shutting down Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And the Habs end up scoring another goal late in the second period, and this time it's from that Danault, Tatar, Gallagher line. And it starts with Gallagher on his back in the corner battling for a puck. Tatar ends up coming in for support. Gallagher wins the battle. The puck goes to the point. Edmondson gets a shot on net, and the puck rebounds to an Edmonton Oilers player. And by then, Gallagher has gotten up, pressures the Edmonton Oilers player again, wins that puck over to Danault, who passes it to Tatar, who snipes it. Great one-time shot from Thomas Tatar there. You love seeing him get up on the board, his 7th on the season. Then we go into the third, scoreless third, and the Habs just do a great job of closing out that game and getting Carey Price the shutout that he deserved. Woo! Now some stats on the night. The Montreal Canadiens outshoot the Edmonton Oilers 32-17. The face-off dot, Montreal's 49%. Kotkaniemi leading the way in that department at 66%, continuing to improve in the face-off dot. Not only that, he was playing with confidence tonight, and I love that Dom Ducharme trusted him with facing McDavid for good portions of this game. We were 0 for 4 on the power play, but I loved how they moved the puck out there. It seems like Jonathan Drouin is getting quite a bit more comfortable quarterbacking this power play at the top of that umbrella. It seems like he's recognizing which weapons he has at each side at any given time. Him and Suzuki developing some chemistry there. Him and Weber are looking a little bit better there on the power play. And just in general, the Habs are moving the puck quick. They're moving their feet if they're not passing quick. So that's a great sign. And they are generating chances on the power play. So 0 for 4, but I was happy with what they were able to do tonight on the power play. Now, again with special teams, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill against the Edmonton Oilers. That's a huge success, and the penalty kill is an area that this team needs to improve. So you love to see them going 100% tonight against a team who's typically strong on the power play with the skill that they have. Edmonton blocked 18 shots, so Montreal was throwing a ton of pucks towards Koskinen tonight, and not so much the other way towards the Edmonton throwing pucks towards Carey Price. Montreal only blocking 8. So, and Price, like I said, 16 for 16, and Danault was the Habs' most used forward tonight with 19 minutes, and Weber 21 minutes and 50 seconds. He played a fantastic game tonight. Goes to show what some rest will do to Shea Weber. Now, hopefully Montreal will have some padding in the standing towards the end of the season, and they can rest him before the playoffs, because we need Shea Weber at his best, and he looked at his best tonight. Loved what he was doing out there, getting pucks through traffic, defending well, skating well, so that was great to see. Now, I also want to point out that bottom pair, Mete and Romanov, really liked what they were doing out there. You didn't notice them a whole lot, which is great. But when I did notice a guy like Victor Mete, he was skating that puck through the neutral zone, and he wasn't afraid to pinch in the offensive zone to try and get some offense going. So you love to see that as well from your bottom pair, and good to see Romanov and Mete gaining some chemistry together. And before I go here, let me remind you that this is a team that is missing Tyler Toffoli, a top 6 forward, Ben Sherratt, a top 4D, and a team that will be adding Eric Staal come next week after he completes his quarantine, as well as likely adding Cole Caulfield if he's truly ready for the NHL. If you want to hear me talk about the Eric Staal trade as well as the Cole Caulfield signing, check my YouTube channel. There's plenty of content there in terms of those two topics. And of course, if you like these videos, like and subscribe and get in on that discussion down in the comments. Cheers, guys. Big one Thursday against the Sens. Cannot wait. I miss this feeling of watching Habs hockey and just enjoying our team. Go Habs, go, baby. Woo!